how would it feel for you if you got an electric problem and you called somebody who you can speak to in your own language, or somebody you relate to repair your appliance? That would make a lot of difference. But these people are not known to us. So when we come together, we say, okay, we put down a board and say, whoever has a trade, just stick your card there so people will know. We also have people like me who don't know a lot of English, and then they say, okay, somebody will come and speak to you in the language you understand. So you give business to the tradesman, but more importantly, this guy, this Ugandan who doesn't speak English, will find somebody they will speak to, and they will understand what they're saying. It happens in all other communities. In North London, in the UK, we have a place called Golders Green. It's for Jews. If you want clothing, if you want to see, you go there. If you go to Old Kent Road, you find Nigerians. If you went to Streatham, you find Somalis. If you went to Wembley, you'll find Indians, or I think Sri Lankans. If you went some place called the South Hall, you find Indians. This is something like people coming together, not to make small communities, but it helps people to develop themselves as a community. Maybe we need to look at that. We don't have to get a place and say it's for Ugandans, but at least we should know each other so that we support each other, others' businesses, but also we get services delivered by our own people.
Wow. Thank you so much. I couldn't say anything more to that, Wechitiwa. But just a follow-up to that, in a way, you're talking about displaying what we do professionally. That also means that there must be channels of communication on how we display this. And learning from the previous Beko, you had a magazine, and also you have a website. We intend to have the same during the Beko Berlin 2026. Which opportunities do you see could emerge from that for people to use these platforms to showcase what they do, not only to Ugandans within Europe, but also back home?
That's a good thing you're suggesting, actually, because when you have this magazine and website, it's not only for the functions. That website is ongoing. For example, when if you advertise, you get the advert in the magazine. That's on the beginning. On the actual function, we get free screens on top of advertising what Uganda is or what Uganda does. The sponsors get an opportunity to talk or to showcase their products. If you on TV, if you get 30 seconds on TV, you pay a lot of money for that. Here you got about 500 people. You are playing an advert every 1 hour for 2 minutes, 1 minute. That's massive. That's really big. On top of that, that person gets a magazine, which is physical, but also digital. Again, that's heavy advertisement if you know what you're selling. Plus, when the function ends, those adverts will stay on our websites. So every function, supposing we have something like you sell clothes or you deal with glasses, you advertise your product. It will start in the magazine, it will be on the screens on the function, it will be on the digital paper. Europe has, I don't know how many millions of people. Forget the people in Europe, but even the Ugandans in Europe, so many. Now you've got access to all these people because your advert will come through. Now you have the website. Anybody can access the website. But on top of that, the function we played on the Ugandan channels, the Ugandan channels, the BBS, CBS. So there's an opportunity for you to market your product. We cannot say we haven't had that opportunity. Really, we do. It's up to you to make sure that your product is good. That will be the beginning. But on top of that, you can actually talk to the organizer and say, look, can you send a message to the people who are interested in my product? Because remember, every function we hold, like Beko, we register people. We have GDPR in the UK, but GDPR say how much information. We don't disclose people's information, but we can send them information. So we have such a massive database, for example, in the UK, that can be accessed as well. So if you advertise, you have a very, very, very big audience, not only for Ugandans, but non-Ugandans. And this is ongoing. We have a website. If you go www.ugandauk.com, you'll see we have people who are our sponsors. They'll be on the bottom of the screen. We are developing the Beko website. So the Beko will have all the European adverts. So people will be able to see what you sell. And people can order from, people in UK can order from Germany, people in Switzerland can order from UK. This is how people grow. So this is what we develop. When we talk about Uganda, Kuntiko, we don't talk about coming and eating. You need people to be successful to develop themselves. If you are running a business, Uganda will have to support you, because when you are rich, Uganda gets rich. If I didn't have a computer, I wouldn't be talking to you. So it's in my interest. It's in Uganda's interest for us to be successful. Things become easier. If we are struggling with money and say, oh, the dinner is £100, we struggle to come to Germany. If we are doing well, even if they said 500, say, I'll give you an extra 500 on top. So it's in our interest to make sure the Ugandans, the Baganda, are successful as a community. We have always been anyway. We're just transferring that success from Africa or from Uganda to Europe. It's not new. If you look, people had lorries, our grandparents were very, very successful. So we have to be successful here.
Wow, thank you so much. Weebale nnyo ekitiibwa era kankakubewo akalango kubanga tonna kufuna space mu magazine ne bwebanga eya print togifunye tugenda kubeera ne digital version, so tuukirirewo ekitiibwa kyambadde obenga ofuna space kubanga ziggwawo era muwuliddewo ekitiibwa bwagambye totundira wanooka naye ne Uganda ebulaaya wonna ne North America babakulaba, so omukisa gw'amaanyi ogwo.
Era nga Beko bw'ogambye ssebo nti buli muntu atunda ffe twagaliza.
Yes.
Sikyakubeera bubezi nti olanga naye naffe twagala ekyaffe kiveeyo. Singa mwami Kyambadde atunda gaalubindi oba engatto, naffe tujja muwagira nnyo ezo zikole ki? Nga bwe nkodde ekyekulabira ku kakyabajjo bakola engoye. Kati omujju tagenda gula ngoye z'abala, ajja gula za banne. Naffe abantu baffe tubaagaliza kubanga ssente ze bakola bazirya naffe. Kati kituyamba nnyo okugula ku Kyambadde, Mukungu Kyambadde abeerenga bizinesi ye bwekula atusponsalinga. Era tusaba nnyo n'abantu abasobola okusponsalinga Buganda bajje batuyambe, kubanga bwe gye tukoma okukulaakulana tulina abantu bangi nnyo. Tulina abantu abaweredde bagamba mbu bannayuganda basukka mitwalo 10 simanyi wano mu UK. Kati bw'oba okola bizinesi olowooza ku maketi eyo tewetaaga bantu bangi, buli omu aspendinga ssente buli nnaku. Kati abantu abo bataapingamu nga n'ekyotunda kirungi nga kya mugaso, lwaki anaagula ku mulala? Nga bwe nagambye, Buganda si y'Abaganda bokka, Buganda y'abantu ba Uganda ffenna. Kati eyo maketi nnene nnyo nnyo. Kati bw'olanga naffe ntugamba nti mwami Kyambadde alanga kino, ate n'ekirabo n'ekintu kyaweereza ne kivaayo, lwaki omuntu anaagenda awalala? Naye tekikomawo wokka, ne Uganda kikola ki? Kituuka nti mwami Kyambadde alanga, naye tekikomawo wokka, ne Australia yo bannayuganda, kubanga ono Beko mu Amerika bamulina. manyi ne mu Middle East bagenda mukola, manyi ne China bajja gikola. Kati lwokola ekintu n'okiranga mu bantu, oluusi tunoonya ebintu ewala ng'ebirungi bituli mu ki mu maaso. So ekyaffe kino kikuze, ojja kulaba nga bali batwegattako.
Tweyanziza nnyo Oweekitiibwa era nga tuwunzika, mbadde nsaba Oweekitiibwa Mukulu Kyambadde abeeko obubuuzo bwakubuuza tumalirize. Nja kuyita musomo si interview.
Nange njize.
Neyanziza Chairman Bweti, neyanziza Oweekitiibwa. Ebibuuzo byange bigenda kubeera bibiri byokka, ontanudde nnyo. Bigenda kubeera mu Luzungu. In your personal experience, can you share us those little defining moments you have gotten through this leadership engagements, like as a leader, those personal...
Can you say the question again?
In your personal experience, can you share us those defining moments you have seen as a leader in this journey? And if you could give one powerful piece of advice to someone who wants to become an outstanding leader, an outstanding person in Beko, what would you tell that person?
As a person, I'm still learning. I'm learning a lot. I've been serving in many different capacities in the Buganda community, but as also in my personal capacity. I'm an entrepreneur. I run my own business. So the mistakes you make when you run your business are very immediate and effective. Not effective, but are revealing. Because if you make a mistake, sometimes it affects your actual income. So you need to be very careful how you run. I think for me, in terms of leadership, what I would share would be the most important thing is teamwork. That's very important as a leader, to have people to understand, because as a leader, you must have a vision. If you have no vision, leadership is not, people confuse management and leadership. I'll give you an example of Beko. There's a vision for Beko, what the leaders want it to be. To expose Buganda to the European people. That's the vision. That's leadership. But there's also management. How do I make this happen? So most people, all of us have, when you have no funds, you do the leadership bit and the management bit. It's very important not to confuse the two.